Hey everyone, and welcome back to Zero Escape 999, where last time we arrived here at the pair of doors labeled 9, and determined that there was unfortunately, without Snake with us, and we do not know where he is, save for knowing that he is likely alive. Without Snake with us, we cannot all go through the 2 doors labeled 9. All we can do is hope to leave a minimal number of people behind. While Clover attempted to find ways to combine every group into 2 groups of 3 or 4, in order to send everyone through the 9 doors, always there would be 7 remaining. A digital route of 7 remaining. And so 7 is proposed. 2 groups of 3, and he stays behind. We can all leave except for 7. 7, I am so sorry, and I appreciate this so much. If we just knew where Snake was, if we just knew what had happened to him, we could get you out of here. This may very well be a long one. I do not recall how much remains in this ending, but we are going until we hit credits. I'll stay behind. Why are you acting so heroic all of a sudden? Are you some kind of idiot? Lotus was the first to speak. I'm surprised, of all people, Lotus is trying to stand up for him. That in itself was a little strange. She'd reacted much differently when Ace had volunteered. I'm completely against this. I'll be goddamned if I'm gonna have to owe you for getting us out of here. Okay, that's a fair point. The rest of them began to speak all at once. I'm against it too. I didn't want to leave Ace behind, and I don't want to leave you either. I don't like that idea. There's gotta be other options. I disagree as well. I can't say I care much for you being the hero. Finally, they quieted down. Junpei looked at 7. Well, there you go, 7. No one wants to leave you behind. We all go? Or are we really going to say we all go or we no go? Or none of us go? Proposal denied. Clover's right, there's gotta be a better way than this. 7 made some noise that was somewhere between a derisive snort and a cough. Doesn't make any sense. He was doing his best to pretend they were making a foolish decision, but Junpei could see the twinkling of water at the corners of 7's eyes. Yeah, I can't imagine that was anywhere remotely an easy thing to suggest. That was when Santa spoke. Whoa, hold on a minute. I haven't said anything yet. Until then, Junpei hadn't realized that Santa had stayed quiet for the whole discussion of 7's fate. Something in his voice made Junpei uncomfortable. Are you agreeing? You want to leave him here? Santa shook his head. Nah, I'm against it. I don't want to leave 7 here alone. Then I don't see how it matters. I said, alone. Santa? Why? What? Eh? I said I don't want to leave 7 alone. There was a dull shine in Santa's eyes. They were cold and hard. Junpei felt himself shiver. What the hell are you? What, you don't get it? I can't just leave 1 person. I need 2 more. 3 people, including 7. I'll be leaving behind 3 people. That's my proposal. 7, or Santa? Oh my god, I'm doing it again. What the hell? No, those are my orders. What do you mean orders? What the hell makes you think you can order us around? Who the hell's gonna listen to you? You all will. In 3 seconds, you won't have a choice. What? 3, 2, 1. Santa was so fast, Junpei could barely see him. When he moved, it was almost like watching a dance. His feet moving like lightning. He spun and... Ah! Whoa, my god, He had June. See? I told you. His lips curled into a cruel, mocking smile. Santa, what the hell? What are you doing? A shudder traveled the length of Junpei's spine. His chest froze and he could feel his breath go stale in his lungs. Nothing made sense. Junpei felt as though his head were about to explode. That's the gun from behind door 6. Santa's sudden change in attitude, saying that he needed 2 more. The gun in his hand, in his right hand, a revolver. Santa had grabbed June from behind and pressed what Junpei's shaken brain identified as a revolver roughly against her temple. What was he doing with a gun? Where on earth had Santa possibly found a gun? Junpei's questions roared in his mind, but his mouth refused to ask them. Seven spoke almost as though he had sensed Junpei's confusion.
The gun's from the other room.
What room?
One of the rooms behind door 6. I should have known he was going to do this. I should have taken the gun.
Well, it's too late now, fat ass.
Damn it.
A mixture of fury and frustration twisted Seven's face, and he glared at Santa. Santa, for his part, didn't so much as flinch. The corner of his lip twitched into a slightly wider smile. What's the point of this? What is the point of this? Santa, why? Then the smile faded and he began to move. He walked backward, dragging June with him. Before long, his back was resting against the door. On the wall next to him was the red. He put his hand on the scanner panel quickly and then forced June to do the same. Now, time for you to start following my orders. Ace, Lotus, congratulations. I've chosen you to come with me. Put your hands on the red. 3 plus 6 plus 1 plus 8 is 18. That was what Santa had meant when he said he needed 2 more. Hey, you deaf? I give you an order. Santa's eyes narrowed to slits. He glared at Ace and Lotus. They stayed frozen like deer caught in the headlights of an oncoming car. Right. Fine. I didn't want to waste any bullets, but you guys just don't get it. No sooner were the words out of Santa's mouth than his hand twitched. And the gun roared. Oh, thank God. Oh, it didn't even pulled it away from June. A section of the floor exploded, scattering wooden splinters across the floor. A thin plume of smoke snaked out of the hole in the floor. There could be no doubt that the gun was real and worked. But why? Santa, why are you? Clover's voice spoke of betrayal and disbelief. Santa, I thought you were one of us. I thought we were friends. What? You knew about the leaf word and the 4-leaf clover. Santa's cheek twitched almost imperceptibly. What the hell is that shit? I've got no idea. You're lying. Shut up. Just shut up, you stupid bitch. You want me to put a bullet in your fucking head? Flecks of spit flew from Santa's mouth, his face twisted with rage. Clover recoiled, her eyes wide. When she spoke, her voice was very small. Santa! He snorted, then shook his head vigorously and turned his face Ace and Lotus. Alright, assholes, what are you still standing there for? Get over here and scan those bracelets. I don't have all day. Oh, what's the matter? Your hearing's starting to going senile, maybe? Ace and Lotus still didn't move. It almost seemed as if they couldn't move. June's face was pale behind Santa's arm. Her eyes were wild and her chest heaved with every quick breath like an animal cornered by a predator. Junpei's mind worked furiously. What were they going to do? Then he realized something. There was nothing they needed to do. There was nothing to debate. June's safety was the first priority. That much was obvious. Doing as Santa had commanded meant that she would be at least safe from at least 2 threats. She wouldn't be shot, and she would leave the ship alive, along with Santa, Ace, and Lotus. There was only one thing for Junpei to do. He turned to Ace and Lotus. Please, go.
Huh?
But, Junpei, what are you saying? If you stay here, you're gonna be stuck, Junpei. And so will Clover and Seven. I know, but you don't need to worry about us. We'll figure something out. Right, Seven?
Right. You just leave it to us. It's gonna piss me off to do what Santa says, but...
Don't worry about me either. There's still something I have to take care of. But, no, you can't. Ace, Lotus, don't do it. Don't worry about me. Please. June was almost crying. Junpei walked around behind Ace and Lotus. Without a word, he landed a hand on each of their backs and gently pushed them forward. They almost stumbled, then righted themselves and took another step, and another. They turned around and Junpei nodded. Ace and Lotus turned around again and walked slowly toward the door where Santa was waiting for them. After what seemed like an eternity, they stopped in front of the door marked 9. Santa smiled. Alright, now let's get those hands on the scanner panel. What's the holdup? What, you think I'm fucking around here? I don't give a shit about this girl. The red doesn't need a person, you know. All I need is a bracelet. You get it? Good. Now put your fucking hands on the scanner. I'm not gonna say it again. He shoved the revolver harder against June's head and she winced. Please, Ace, Lotus, just do what he says. Just do what he says. Fine. Ace sighed, defeated, and placed his hand on the scanner panel. Lotus went next. Lotus glared at Santa and slammed her hand onto the scanner panel. The 4th asterisk blinked on. Good job. Now, Lotus, pull that lever. As soon as the door opens, you get your ass in there. Try anything stupid and you know what happens, right? Junpei could almost hear Lotus's teeth grind. The door slid open. Door number 9 opened at last. It opened with a low, powerful rumble, a drum roll to welcome the chosen few. All right. Go. Lotus and Ace walked through the door, their eyes furious but defeated. Santa waited until they were all the way inside, then hauled himself and June across into the threshold as well. 6, 7, 8. Later. This is horrible. After exactly 9 seconds, the door swung shut. The gust of air it created caused the candles on the altar to flicker and die. The room fell silent. Junpei, Clover, and Seven had been left behind. Clover looked down at her hand and traced with her finger the faint blue veins that crisscrossed them. Seven shoved his arms into the front of his overalls and scratched his stomach. No one spoke. Silence made the air feel thick and oppressive. Desperate for something, anything to occupy his mind, Junpei walked to the larger of the 2 9 doors. He stood in front of it and looked at the red. It read, engaged. He moved to the smaller door. The red read, vacant. The digital root of the remaining people was 7. 5, 4, 7 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. There was no possible way for them to open a door with a 9 on it. Junpei touched the surface of the door. He thought about June, about Akane Kurashiki. Was she safe? That was all that mattered to him. If she was alive, if she had escaped this horrible boat, that was what Junpei prayed for. 7 came up next to him. He pulled off his hat, scratched his head, and sighed.
So, what do you want to do next, Junpei?
What do you mean, what do I want to do? What can we do? 7 opened his mouth to respond when a noise echoed through the room. Someone was pounding on something vigorously. It wasn't mechanical. It was certainly human. Junpei and 7 looked at one another. And this time, the knocking was heard.
What the hell is that?
Shh! Quiet! Clover motioned to 7 to be quiet. She put one finger to her lips and closed her eyes in concentration. The 3 of them listened, trying to determine where the sound was coming from. Where was it coming from? Could it be?
Hey, I think it's coming from this coffin.
You're right. Let's open it.
But how?
What are those muscles for? For show?
You're telling me to force it open.
Just shut up and try. Junpei and 7 grabbed hold of the coffin. They tried to get a good grip with what little purchase they could find and pulled with all their strength.
Ah! Yeah!
Damn it!
Man, it won't even budge.
There was some sort of keypad attached to the coffin. Its purpose would not have been difficult to determine. Their eyes were almost immediately drawn to it.
Not another one.
Yeah, looks like it. Do you think we have to put in the right password or it won't open? I think so. The noise wasn't stopping. In fact, it was getting louder. They had no idea who was in the coffin, but they wanted out, and they wanted out now. They had no idea what they were supposed to do. Without a passcode, it didn't seem like there was a lot they could do. They couldn't even tell how many numbers the passcode needed to be. Is there a hint somewhere?
Well, let's look for one.
Unfortunately, there didn't seem to be anything near the coffin. Clover ran to examine the pews, and Seven investigated the desk, and they turned up nothing. The sound still wouldn't stop. It wasn't a noise that belongs in that room. What was the passcode? What was Junpei supposed to do? How was he supposed to figure it out? He needed something. Next time on Zero Escape 999, we need to find that passcode. I will see everyone next time for our penultimate ending.